Welcome to Thursday Night Knives. I'm Bob DeMarco. Coming up, the new Jack Wolf Knives knife. It's awesome. I'm sure you've seen it. I think I got the best version of it. And then we hit 25,000 subscribers on YouTube, so we're going to do a little giveaway for that. And then your favorite carry combinations. I want to find out. This is one that I like periodically to do and make videos of myself. What have I been carrying and what have I been pairing recently that I like? So I want to hear about that from y'all. So how's it going with you? It's going fine with me. I had a chance to run out and get some coffee after dinner. Dave, this old sword, how's it going, sir? Evening, Bob, Jim, and junkies, and all. He says, Dave, man, awesome guy. You got to check his channel out if you haven't already. I'm sure in some ways I'm preaching to the choir, but he's just putting out some awesome stuff. He just keeps getting the sweetest knives. It's hard to keep up. Byron, good to have you here. Byron Kennedy. Howdy, Bob, Jim, and junkies. Hope everyone Thursday is good. Let's talk about knives. And Byron, I might add, it is the beginning of the weekend. Blade Ogre, good to see you here, sir. Chris with his 10 knives, weighing him down. Yes, we are all hoping he's a suspenders and belt kind of guy. Chris Corliss, good to have you here, Chris. Good evening, everyone, he says, listening while I walk my dog. Glad to be here. Well, I'm really glad to be in your ears while you're walking the dog, but make sure it's turned down enough or you have an earbud out of one ear, just in case. You never know when someone's peering around a tree or doing something creepy. Dion Page says, hello, King Knife Junkie. Dion, pleasure to have you here. And all you knife junkies, lords and ladies of the Knife Junkie realm. Speaking of ladies, I've been talking to my wife. She's going to come on Thursday Night Knives one of these Thursdays, perhaps next. She's busily working right now, kicking ass as usual, but maybe next week. She wants to show off some of her knives, and frankly, I want her to because someone's sister, and I can't remember who it was in the background while commenting and asking about knives, and I really thought that would be better answered by my wife. So maybe we figure out a date and then I get the word out just in case anyone has questions from a woman's perspective. Nick EDC, good to see you here, sir. Hey, junkies, Bob and Jim, he says. Well, hello to you, sir. Will be nice to have you here. Jim, Bob, junkies. Hey, everyone, he says. Hey to you. I bet he's got his Norseman. God, why am I not? I'm brain farting on that. His Norseman. I know he loves that knife. Dion Page, 25,000, top notch and outstanding. Thank you, Dion. I do appreciate that, man. I do appreciate that. It's a nice round number, and Jim and I are pretty psyched about that. We were talking about it at lunch yesterday, and so we're going to be giving away a knife. Why not? Since we're on the topic, why not I show it right now? Why not? Why don't I show it right now? Will B says, my favorite carry combos, whatever I carry without my pants falling down. Yeah, because Will B, like Blade Ogre, is another one who carries lots. And there's nothing wrong with that. Here, let's put this under the knife cam. I'll show off what we're giving away for 25,000. This is courtesy of Dave, who's already chimed in. This old sword blade reviews. Man, he gave me this beauty, and this is one of those knives that he sent my way to give away for the good of the channel and for the good of the audience. But I gotta say, this is one of those ones that's really hard to let go. So I figure tonight's the night. It's got this beautifully contoured handle. This is designed by Mike Vellekamp, who's a stalwart in the knife industry, and I believe, well, I don't want to, I don't want to speak out of school about Mr. Vellekamp, but I know he spent some time at Spyderco, and he started V Knives, and he made this design for 511, and it's produced by Fox Knives USA, which is also a company he had something to do with. And I don't remember what that is. Really nicely contoured handle, just kind of beautiful to look at, but also just by looking at it, you can tell how ergonomically sound this is. You can see exactly where your thumb is going to go and how perfect it fits. This is a really comfortable handle, and it reminds me of some classic sword handles and knife handles there. So just really a big, um, well, big. That's 3 3/4 inches there. That's N690, and I'm sorry, that's S30V, and just on buttery smooth action here. So this thing is really sweet. We're going to give this away to anyone who hashtags knife in the comments, hashtag knife. And we will do that drawing at 11 of the clock. Keep me honest, Jim, 11 o'clock. Let's do that. This is definitely just looking at it, rocking back and forth on my computer in front of me. I'm going to put this down on the knife cam, take the Natchez Bowie away. This is definitely a tactical design meant for some grim tasks, but also some, the kind of tasks that might come up while on a mission or something. Cutting rope, that recurve is really nice. Cutting in a fight, that recurve is really nice. That point, excellent. I had a point I was going to bring up. Chris Corliss says, yes, sir. One earbud exclusively. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I remember someone was talking about being in line at the bank, and it was funny just to think about that, because I can't remember the last time I was in line at the bank, but I know it still happens. And he was saying everyone was earbudded and looking at their phones. And he just said, well, I guess I'm security here. Have a nice day. Good to see you here, sir. Good evening, Junkalos, he says. Junkalos. You going to take that? I like that. Junkalos. Look at the trees, says sword and chef's knife. Man, two of my favorite blades, a broadsword and a chef's knife. One I use a lot, one I don't. You figure it out. Dion Page says, the Queen Knife Junkie. Awesome. Yeah, it will be awesome. She's going to come on, and yeah, it'll be great to get her perspective. It'll also be cool for you all to meet her. Hero Sticks says, evening and cheers all. Well, Hero Sticks, awesome to have you here. I hope you got the package I sent. Good to be back for Thursday Night Knives, he says. Well, always a pleasure to have you here. That's a guy with one pretty sweet collection, and I know because he has sent me chunks of it in big boxes from time to time. And you've seen me show off his stuff here. So, yeah, great collection. My Norseman, says Wilby, is still with Mike Emler. Oh, okay. He's got my Stitch and Mordax, too. Did he just make a video about your Stitch? Maybe that wasn't him. So I assume he's sharpening it, right? I have, or did you send it to him for testing and videos? But anyway, he put a pretty amazing edge on my Spidey chef, I must say. Joseph S. Good to see you here, Joseph. Good evening, junkies, he says. Throwing up the piece. The deuces. Jeremy Nedro, good to have you here. Also, Jeremy, always. Hello, everyone, he says. Well, hello right back, sir. Hello right back. Look at the tree, says, I carry a Battle Horse Knives jump jack, and a Rogan USA mutt Foreman pry bar. Okay, so that's interesting. Wait, what's the Battle jump jack? What is the jump jack? I know Battle Horse Knives to make fixed blades. The jack in there throws me off a little bit. This is a fixed blade you're talking about, right? Cam, good to see you here, Cam, and your beautiful Mustang. Howdy, Bob, Jim, and everyone. Howdy to you. I was just admiring a Bullet Mustang. It actually said Bullet on the back in a sort of crosshairs. Sounded pretty nice. Pedro Armstrong. Good to have you here, Pedro. I used to work for 511. So what is that like? Because it is the only even remotely tactical store in the area I live in. So I go there every so often to, buy a shirt or something, try and keep them in business, because there's a lot of pearl clutching about tactical stuff in my area. So to see them there warms the cockles. The Expert line is awesome. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't even mention the name of this. Expert. The Expert line is awesome, he says. So, is this a Pedro? Is the expert line? Are there a number of different designs by different designers and makers in that line? I can't, like the Karambit by Steve Tarani. Is that all the same thing? James Moore, good to have you here, James. And your awesome, classy knives. No doubt he's carrying something cool and has a pretty amazing combo. Dion Page says, my favorite carry combos are as follows. Number one, SRK 3V SAK Evo Grip. Evo Grip. Oh, okay. I think that I know what that is. Counterpoint XL because it's new. Oh, yeah. Okay. Counterpoint XL. Very nice. SRK. What? Survival Rescue Knife. I forgot who I'm talking. I'm talking to Dion here. So it's going to be some nice cold steel. Okay. Survival Rescue Knife. SRK in 3V. Swiss Army Knife Evo Grip, which I think has the ergonomic and rubberized grip. And the Counterpoint XL because it's new and awesome. The Counterpoint, the regular Counterpoint, is one of very few cold steels that I sent back. And today I wouldn't have done that. But back in the day, I was buying it for everyday carry. Now I would just be buying it to, fill in the collection. Okay, so number 2 favorite carry combos. So I like that. By the way, let me just comment on that carry combo for a second. Large. The Counterpoint XL has a larger blade than that fixed blade SRK in 3V. Am I correct, or are they exactly the same? They might be the same. So I love that you have a fixed blade on you, and I love that your folder is even bigger. Okay, number 2, Recon 1 Tonto, an old fave, stolen from my car years ago. Swiss Army Knife Evo Grip and the Essie Azula 2. Okay, Essie's Azula 2, a smaller fixed blade knife, and the Recon Tonto. So this is a more sheeple friendly carry compared to option number 1. Okay, option number 3, Voyager XL clip in AUS 10. Okay, that's a nice one. And the Swiss Army Knife Evo Grip and the Case Double X SM fixed. Okay, I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. But all 3 very nice carry, and something that I like is that you are always incorporating something large. Here's the Voyager XL I happen to have out on the table today. This is serrated, and it has a prototype version of the Snaggletooth MF on it. This is a favorite of mine and a favorite line. So, Dion, awesome. I love that. Let me know what your carry options are. Maybe like Dion did. Give me a couple of them because, some guys have church carry, and some guys have corporate office carry, and some guys have construction site carry, and some gals have their carry. Gals, my daughter would cringe. Gals, ugh. Hero Stick says, yes, sir. It's arrived. Okay, cool. Picking it ASAP. I've been in Rwanda the last few weeks and just got back. It's waiting for me. I'm stoked. Well, man, I got to say, it's a real relief and pleasure to know that you are back from Rwanda. It's not every day you talk to people who have been there, let alone have been there in the last few weeks. So welcome home, and welcome home. Welcome home. Have a Knife Day says, insane Julie crew, aka Junkalos. Oh, geez, I like that. We should figure out what our face paint will look like and what our crew's official drink will be. Junkalo coffee. Well, it's got to be coffee, and I'll leave the face paint to you, given your background jumping out of airplanes. I'm sure you've worn face paint in your time. I'm sure whatever you put on was pretty cool. But if I'm pressed, I would say the Conan war paint, in the end of Conan the Barbarian, not necessarily to totally camouflage me, but to break me up and dazzle and confuse, kind of like a tiger. Will B says, yeah, he did a video on the stitch and sent the Mordax, and I sent him the Mordax to check out the newer Magna Cut from ProTac. Oh, sweet. He's sharpening the Norseman. He's probably the only person I trust to do the Norseman. Yeah. Wouldn't that be a bummer to get the Norseman back and suddenly it's a straight bladed Tonto with no secondary point? That would be a bummer. Like someone just runs it over a sharp maker or something, or pulls it through one of those things you get at the grocery store, pulls it through your Norseman. That would be horrible. Henry Wildfang, good to have you here, sir. Currently rocking the Emerson OBS knife and Emerson Super Elvia. Ooh, not envy, jealousy. Not envy, but jealousy. Wait, go back, Jim, if you would. I'm unsure of what the Emerson OBS is. Let me know what that is. But I love your double Emerson carry. Sounds awesome. Jeremy Nedro says, I really like the SE4 in S35VN and a Yojimbo in crewwear combination. Ooh, that's nice. I have one crewwear knife. It's the Shark by Alex Steingraber. It's awesome. And I don't think I've used that a lot on cardboard. I've never even touched it up. It's pretty, well, that's a lie. I've nervously touched it up just for fun, but never had to. Looking at the tree says Jump Jack is a fixed blade Puko style in '01 steel. Ooh, that sounds nice. I'm kind of after I saw the trailer for what's that movie? It looks like John Wick in World War II with the Finnish guy killing Nazis, and he kills him with a bunch of big Nordic style Puko like knives. And I'm sorry to say, and that makes me sound a little, I'm sorry to say that it took that to really get me interested in that style knife, but it did. Pedro says the Expert line that I'm referring to is the Expert series of clothing by 511, because that's what this knife is called. It's the Expert. Or just XPRT. It's weatherproof and durable clothing. They're boots, pants, shirts, and I think jackets. I have the boots. I'm not sure the line. I wear their pants a lot and their shirts in the summer, and in the winter. Actually, I love 511 stuff. The only thing is I'm pretty careful not to wear a 511 shirt and pants at the same time. It's a little, because it says 511 on it, and then it's sort of like, oh, you're so tactical. This old sword says, my favorite combo lately is a small pocketable fixie with a large folder. Ooh, I like that. I got a new Bastinelli today that is a superb pocket carry, yet perfect sized, ergo excellent handle. What is it again? I think I may have seen this, though I've been really busy the past few days and haven't done any Instagram scrolling. Will B says, I usually carry my Norseman as a main carry, then a fixed blade cross draw. Ooh, I like that cross draw. Oh, it's usually your Ronin, right? In the custom sheath. A karambit in my wallet pocket, then an OTF somewhere with a couple more knives. Man, I like that. I rotate them in and out, but you pretty much you always know that you can send your hand to certain locations and find something. The Conan Tiger Stripe says, have a knife day. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Pedro says, also working there is pretty cool. The location I worked at gives you a full free loadout day one. Oh, nice. You get a very generous discount, 60% other than its retail. You meet interesting people too. Well, a funny thing in my my location, they were selling Hogue out the fronts while they were illegal here. They were illegal in Virginia, and I thought they were illegal. But then I had Doug Ritter on the show. He explained to me, no, they are terribly illegal. You can't even own them. And Todd Carr, good to have you here, man. Evening, everyone, he says. Well, evening to you, Todd. Just talking about 511, the store, and it's a great place, great people working there. But I was like, you can't sell that. I mean, that's illegal. And the guy's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, okay, I'm not arguing. I was thinking, well, I had on my show, I had Doug Ritter, and maybe you've heard of him. And but I didn't do that. I just said, oh, okay, well, cool. It's a great knife. And then I came back in a couple of weeks later and they were gone. And I didn't ask. I didn't say, see, or anything like that either. Cam, good to have you here. Oh, I already said good to have you here. Cam, lately I've been rocking the Giant Mouse Ace Grand and the Protect Sprint. I love the look of the blade of the Ace Grand, and then they made the Atelier, the small version, looks nice. But I like the larger one better. But that, and then their new one, the Jutland. Oh man, such nice looking clip point blades coming from Giant Mouse. Byron says favorite work carry is the Cold Steel Recon 1, and we know that to be a drop point. Rosecraft Applejack, the Off-Grid Knives Necker, the Milwaukee Fastback. Favorite camp carry is the Off-Grid Knives Tracker X, okay, or Ridgeback. Have you seen the new Ridgeback full flat ground? It's awesome. And the Gerber Gator Junior. Oh man, the Gerber Gator and the Leatherman Sing. Seems like you always should have a Leatherman, and I am out. I busted my last Leatherman. Frankly, it was a Home Depot purchase. It shouldn't have fallen apart, but it was a Leatherman. But two of the springs came out, and so I got to get a new one. And maybe someone has a recommendation. The Gerber Gator. I love the handle of the Gerber Gator. That knife comes up every once in a while in conversation because of what a great looking clip point blade. It had a pouch instead of a clip and a big round rubbery contoured handle. But I didn't know they made a small version of it. So pretty cool. Hero says a favorite combo of late has been the Brian Brown Jaeger M. That is a very cool knife. With his little fixie, the Chunk. What is the Chunk? I'm trying to remember. Both in brown micarta. That Jaeger is a one of few of the knives of that type that I like. And what I mean by that type is that shape blade, but that it's not so much a cleaver in that case. It's really veering towards straight razor, and I've always had an appreciation for that. I'm not sure why I am remembering this, but just hours ago at the dinner table, my wife said something about, well, what if you have to throw the Zippo? And I love that because sometimes you do, like in the Osterman weekend. Sometimes there's a bad guy in a pool full of gasoline, and you gotta throw the Zippo. Can't do that with a Bic, Blade Ogre says I carried the Sniper LPC as my most reachable knife. Okay. The Sniper Blade Works LPC is my most reachable knife. So what does that mean? Like your front right pocket, assuming you're right-handed? The other side has a bigger utility knife and then two more folders on my other two pockets. Okay. Excuse me. The rest is mostly slippies and EDC fixies in pockets. So with the EDC fixies in pockets, are you locking those down with an ulti clip or a discrete carry concepts, or is it just banging around down at the bottom with your change? I'm curious because some people have immense tolerance for that. I do not. I have zero tolerance for that. As a matter of fact, like there's nothing worse to me than when a knife, even if it's a small, it has to be a peanut, literally a case peanut, and turn sideways, I can handle it. Anything larger than that drives me nuts. Dave, we have Blade Banter here. I have the Kershaw Pub. First of all, it's great to have you here, David Cam, as always. As a matter of fact, I've been digging on some wooden knives, and I pulled this out tonight just to show it off. This is Blade Banter, David Cam / Orion Knives, his new Cetus. Just a really awesome, great carry, utility, looker, and all that. But to me, it's also a wicked, self-defense-y kind of knife. It's my pocket ganunting, like I like to say. Anyway, he was saying, I interrupted him. I have the Kershaw Pub in a leather slip and then random knives in the right pocket. Okay, the Kershaw Pub in a leather slip. That is a slip joint that has some bottle opening features. Is that right? I have one of the Kershaw slip joints, and it's awesome. It's really nicely made. This old sword says Bastinelli is the Foreigner fixed blade version of the old. Oh yes, Shadow folder. That I loved that folder. But so it has a nice big thumb scoop and and a curved handle and then a straight blade and a nice curved beak. That's a very good looking blade, and no doubt pretty wicked. And then you also have that other little 3-finger sax one that he made. Pretty cool. Ginger Fisher 75, good to have you here, sir. Evening, everyone. Hand pink waving. I think I think you're saying hi, but somehow it came through in words instead of an emoji. Okay, this is my pink hand waving back. Good to have you here, man. Dion says, stab, chop, slice, slash that button. Yeah, you could also, if you have this knife, which if you hashtag knife in the comments, you could use that puño. Look at that. That's pretty pointy. You could hit the like button like that. But you don't have this yet. So make sure you put hashtag knife in the comments. And this very sweet knife, which was very randomly endorsed, not randomly, but endorsed by someone watching right now. And he is not a plant, though your check is in the mail, sir. So this could be yours, and it is really sweet. And if no one gets it, it could be mine. So hashtag knife. Look at the tree says, I prefer Tiger Stripe Arnold in Predator. Yeah, well, that was good. And the Native American tracker dude, Billy, has a sweet big knife in Predator. Okay, look at the trees. Here's something. If you have Predator or watch it with any frequency, they all have that knife. They all have both knives. You can see Arnold use it very briefly. He's got his giant knife that Billy carves his chest with on his leg, strapped to his leg, which is a highly uncomfortable and odd place to have the knife, but he has it there. It's a dramatic place to have it. He pulls it out and swipes the drive belt on the truck that's powering that little that paramilitary station that they hit in the beginning, where they capture the girl and all that. So you can see it there, and you can see all of them, if you watch, have that on them, and then they all have that really sweet survival knife too. Anyway, just geeking out on Predator, one of my favorites of all times. I love that movie. Just as I love Commando and Conan. God, Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, to me, like I always hit a little bit closer than Stallone movies, though I love Stallone. And man, what a stud. Anyway, Cheeto Bandito, good to have you here, man. What's up, kids? Carrying the Leatherman Surge. Okay, I keep hearing about the Surge. The Cold Steel Holdout. Love the Holdout. The CJRB Ruffian, another great one. The Ruffian, that's Pinkerton. That's Dirk. And a GEC 47P. The 47, that's the Viper. That's the swayback, right? With the Warncliffe, one of my absolute favorites, one of the most coveted Great Eastern cutlery knives out there. What's the P? What is the P? Is that the prototype? Is that not the prototype, but the first production run? Let me know. Ruger, assuming, Ruger or Ruger? Ruger. Let's go with Ruger. Good to have you here, Ruger. Today is Spyderco Street Bowie with Aqua Salt serrated flipper. I've had this on me just this evening. This is a frequent Thursday Night Knives carry knife because I take out everything I've been carrying to show off. So I have to have something on me, and frequently it's this knife. So great taste, sir. Great taste indeed. Jonathan Ocampo. Jonathan, good to have you. Thoughts on artisan cutlery? Mine are, I love artisan cutlery. They make awesome knives, and they have some of their early in-house designs were goofy or to my eye now. I used to like more exotic looking folder designs. Now I trend towards the something a little less, but they took a lot of interesting design chances, and in doing so proved their chops. But now they have CJRB, which is excellent. That's their sort of high value brand. And they've also enlisted the help of great designers. Like, for instance, Mike Snowdy recently designed the Accelerator. And there's a recent S90V in titanium version that, for instance, Dave has shown off recently. And and Metal Complex. But anyway, Artisan, great company. CJ, well, I shouldn't say company, great knives. I don't know about the company. And CJRB makes great knives as well. So if you like the design, you're pretty safe in buying one of their knives. You're pretty sure it's going to be an excellent quality knife. Cam says, I'm loving all the clip point folders out right now. Oh, really? Like what? Which ones? This one, this is a new Civivi that I didn't hear any. This is the Synesis. I didn't hear anything about it from anyone. But it's such an inexpensive, cool, little thin Civivi. So I love clip points. So yeah, I'm liking that trend too. But what in particular, which clip point folders are you loving that are coming out now? Because maybe I need to be exposed to them. Mike says Medford Marauder. Oh God, I love that knife. Medford Marauder, silver back in 3V, Randall 16. Is that the special fighter, or is just this, or is this the diver? Spyderco Arc and the Victorinox Cadet on my keychain. So always my kind of carry coming from Mike Flamian. Todd Carr says today Leatherman Surge. Oh, this is a nice long. This is a list. Okay, hang on. All right, I'm going in. Todd Carr today Leatherman Surge. Okay, so Surge. Let me write this down so I don't forget. Surge. I'll forget to read that though. So anyway, Gerber Dime and Shard. Okay, those are the little keychain tools that have little multiple tools on these little metal pieces. Swiss Army Knife SD Classic, Cold Steel 8010, Kaiser Escort, another Pinkerton with 20 CV blade steel. That's nice. CJRB Pyrite, a great one. A great one, the CJRB Pyrite, for the gentleman who was asking about Artisan. Check that out. Papa Bear knives. Oh, I like this. Papa Lucky fixed blade. I really like Papa Bear knives. I've been following him just a short while, and they're impressive. And the Olight Olight 1IR2 and I3T flashlights. Torches. Are Olights, do Olights reach torch level, or do you call a flashlight a torch once you've spent more than $200 on it and it's out of titanium? This is what I don't know. You torch / flashlight nerds out there, let me know. Blade Ogre carrying the ZT-0308. Love that knife. I should have jumped on that knife when it first came out, and it was only $300. I could have traded some ZTs to get that. Now I think it's gone up in price. Well, hasn't everything, Bob? Yes, it has. Medford Praetorian Swift. That means it's a switchblade version of the Praetorian. Sniper Bladeworks LPC. We've had another. So that's the one that you keep right in the ready spot. The XM18 Recurve by Hinderer. I love that knife. The Case Elephant Toe also. The Moore Maker Sodbuster. The Spyderco Spidey Chef, LT Wright Bandit, and the in AEBL, and the Sleazy Ogre. That is a knife of his own design, of Blade Ogre's own design, made by Jason Grant of Grant Gripper fame and Brass Brigade. Hero Stick says, yes, that Giant Mouse Jutland just came out in a burlap micarta and black blade. Yeah, that's the Venatus, 4E steel? Venatus 4E, which is new to me. It looks like a winner. It looks beautiful. I mean, I wouldn't know. You could probably put on 154 CM, and I probably wouldn't know the difference unless I had to sharpen it and put a new edge on. I might, but I like knowing that I'm getting that steel Venatus 4E, whatever that is, for the price. Addicted to Knives, good to have you here, man. Spartan Harzy full size and Brandon Park skipjack is one of my favorite combos. That is a great combo. And actually, Addicted to Knives, you're doing me a favor. You're giving me a great segue, because I've been blathering on and on. But you did mention the Spartan Harzy folder. So with all of that said, I think it's time for a pocket check. As mentioned moments before, in my front right pocket, I had the Spartan Harzy folder. When I got this, it was really hard to get. I think it still is, though I know that their production has been increased in the last year and a half or so, which is great news, since they partnered up with Pineland and all that. So this was plain Jane until I had Curtis Iovito on the show, and he very graciously offered to engrave my logo on the handle, and he did. And something cool. Well, he also gave me a filler tab with my logo on it, which is nice. But I like how they put it on there crooked, and crooked's not even the right. I should say on an angle. Because they could have lined up the horizon line in that logo with the spine, but then it would have been off with the blade, everything. So I like how they placed it, and that's kind of how they place a lot of their designs on these handles. This isn't a rectangular canvas you're dealing with, so you can't really compose pictures the same way. So I like how they handle their engraving, and certainly cherish this one. As thick behind the edges this is, it is really incredibly sharp. Like uh, doing some of the things today, just this evening around the house, around dinner time, and putting some stuff away. Doing things that I expect a very, very thin, slicey, sometimes hollow ground knife to do. This was doing. So just a great knife and a great carry. And who has and loves that? Okay, so didn't have a slip joint on me. Forgot a slip joint, but I didn't forget this. This is the Cold Steel Talwar XL. Did I have this on my person all day? No, I did not. But this was a part of my. This was a part of the day's carry, so to speak. It was what I put together, what I chose. And in vacillating between this and a fixed blade, which I did not carry, and that was the big thing, I forgot to get a slip joint. And what happens ordinarily is I don't carry all four of the knives that I talk about in the pocket check. Usually something comes out of the pocket and lives on my desk all day long at work, and gets used either for some emotional support or sometimes like I had some. Well, sometimes they get some use, and other times they're just there for fidgeting and wistfully glancing at. So this was in place of a fixed blade, and no doubt would do an excellent job at many of the sort of things I would carry a fixed blade for in the first place. And it has that really nice wave. I gotta say, this knife is I'm not surprised that I like it, but I'm surprised by how much I like it, in that it's got a much less aggressive G10 than most of my Cold Steel G10s. So they've toned that down a little bit, but the ergonomics and the lightness of it, it's lighter than I expected. And just this grip area, especially down here, I mean, it's comfortable everywhere, but right down here, it just feels like it's made for my hand. And I haven't really used this blade for anything except swiping a paper towel roll in half off of the kitchen counter. So wished it was never manufactured and sent to our household. So yeah, had that with me today, but not on my person. Lastly, I did have this and got a lot of fidgeting done today with this. This is the Kubi Royale, designed by Colin Maison-Pierre of CM Designs. And this is a great, great little knife. I got this because I wanted something by Colin, and because he's been on the show, and I like trying to have at least one thing by people who've been on the show. And I couldn't really afford the one I wanted, which is the best tectonic. And I couldn't justify the price of it, knowing that wouldn't get a lot of carry due to the size. So I was like, what else did he make that I would like? I love Kubi knives. I wanted to check out more of them, and then I saw this, and I love this knife. This is a great fidgeting knife. Yes, it is a great fondling knife and all that. But this is just a great knife in general. I used this in a lot of tip cuts. Today, I had something to box up and send off, return to Amazon. And this was going out via UPS, so it had to be boxed up. And I had to do some label cutting and some trimming and whatnot. And I found that using the tip on this knife was excellent. It was perfect for that kind of thing. I usually think of just straight Wharncliffes with real acute points that look like, X-Acto knives as being that kind of thing, but not in this case. Great knife. So this is my meager carry today. Usually I have four knives and maybe a quill or something, but today it was the Spartan Harsey folder, the Cold Steel Talwar XL, and the Kubi Royal. Now, in my saying meager carry, I'm not saying that I don't appreciate this. I mean, I'm very grateful to have these knives, and they are not meager knives. I just meant no fixed blade. What's up with that, man? So what'd you guys have on you? Let me know. Let's hear it. You may have already told me, but Look at the Tree says, this summer I've been carrying a Condor Bolo machete for the Greenbriers when mushroom hunting. That is cool. The Bolo machete. Is that the one? Now I'm trying to. Does it look kind of barong-like, leaf-shaped? I love Condor. They have so many cool things. Chris Corliss says, have to admit, hang on, I'm just pouring a little coffee here. Have to admit, as a huge knife lover, I have never been able to get myself to carry more than one knife at a time. Depending on what I'm wearing, I will add the Gerber dime to whatever I have. Hey, you know what? For me, it is purely gratuitous. I mean, it's like bringing your toy cars down to the TV room while you watch cartoons. Gratuitous. It's like, because obviously a very, very, very small sector of what I have could do me. Like this Kubi could be all I have, and I'd probably be fine 99% of the time. But that's not what this is all about, obviously. But I totally get not carrying a whole bunch of knives. Also, some people have to carry other things. Also, some people wear suits, and some people just don't want all that stuff on them, like rings and things. So, though I don't personally relate, I totally get it. I know my brother doesn't carry more than one knife. Blade Banter says, yeah, Pub is a friction folder with a bottle opener and prior. Oh, okay. I like that. Yeah, on the backside. The Tang is the cap lifter, right? Chris says, lately my main blades have all been fixed blades in the front right pocket. I love hearing that. I like Kydex with the discrete carry concepts or the Mummert clips. Okay, we talked about this last week because, I know which one the Mummerts are. Are they the ones that come up? They kind of have a flat thing, and they come up, and then they have kind of a graceful curve to them, and then they kind of hook under again. But when you look at them from the front, they're not like parallel lines. It kind of has a curve. Anyway, I've never used those. I'd like to check them out. I've also purchased an auxiliary manufacturing bottle rocket with Offensive Industries sheath. Which one? This is my bottle rocket. I love this damn thing. It is such a sweet knife. This has a paper micarta handle, and the handle sculpting is just so perfect for like any grip. I know I'm beating a dead horse because I talk about this knife a lot, but that's what we do. That is my birthright. And I do it the least in my sibling group, I will say, whom I love greatly. Blade Ogre says, I got 4 knives in my left pocket usually. I love that. 4 knives in your left pocket usually. 1 utility knife on top of that. And then 2 slippies and my sleazy ogre all in the bottom. That would just drive me up a wall. They actually hold each other down without hurting each other. That's hilarious. Well, sometimes I use one thing in my pocket to stand the other thing up. Like for a long time, I would have my wallet. Like when I lived in New York, I would keep my keys in my back pocket with my wallet, but my keys were on a Kubotan, and so I had the Kubotan stood up next to the wallet, and then that turned into a knife. So yeah, sometimes you use some of the things in your pockets to keep other things from flopping around. So I totally get that, but 4 knives. Wow. Addicted in, in one pocket. 4 knives all day long, I get, but in one pocket. Addicted to knives. Today for me was the new Civivi Vision. Oh, that is sweet. A lot of people getting that. That is awesome. That's the Snex design. Snex, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, was very active on Instagram. He's from Malaysia. I think he's from Malaysia. And he did this just exhaustively cataloging the birth of this knife he was creating that was so complex in its engineering. It was pretty cool. His stuff is pretty amazing. And then we did a version of the Vision, and now Civivi has it. So that's the cool thing. This is like the high fashion from the high fashion runway, the stuff where you're like, no one wears that. This is the trickle down. Years later, now we can afford a Snex because there's more than 12 being made, and it takes less time than a year to, so we can all have a Snex, which is great. LP Knifeworks, good to have you here. LP Knifeworks. Do you own the Predator Manticore? I own the Manticore X. This one. What's the Predator Manticore? Is it this is just the recurve Manticore. So is the Predator Manticore, is that a cool blade that has a sort of a clip point like the Predator knife? Because if it does, I should own it. Have a Knife Day says the Expendables knives and Predator crew, good times. Yeah, Expendables, that's another one. I just can't see that movie. Okay, if it's on and I'm, folding laundry or whatever, and I'm sitting down in front of the TV, or not, that's, I sit in front of the TV for more than folding laundry. Let me put it that way. When I'm sitting down and I'm about to veg out and I'm flipping through channels, if it's John Wick, if it's Predator, the Expendables, why isn't Commando kind of on this rotation like these movies? I'm not sure. Maybe it's the abduction of the 12-year-old girl thing, or I don't know. But those movies, I can't say no to. So Predator, you caught my ear with that. Looking at the tree says Leatherman Wave plus okay. The Wave is the one I should get. I've heard Surge a couple of times. Wave, I know I've heard Wave a lot. I think something was new about the Wave when the Wave came out. There was something that they did with that they hadn't done with Leatherman's, and I don't remember what that is. Cheeto Bandito. P is for pruner. Oh, so it's a GEC 47 Harvester sway back with the big hawkbill blade. God, that sounds nice. Is that a rare bird, or is that something that's out right now that I should be paying attention to? Todd Carr says, I've carried a multi-tool since I was 15 years old. Feel naked without one nowadays at 52. Todd Carr, I am turning 52 next week, sir. Good to good to have a fellow traveler. What's the word of it? Anyway, good to know. So you've been carrying one since 15. I didn't even know they were around at 15. I think I first became aware of Leatherman's, I don't know, maybe in college. My brother got me one, and I really thought he got me a knife, and because of the box and everything, I'm like, sweet. And I opened it up. There's a Leatherman. And I was like, oh, cool. Thanks. It ends up like it's still now it lives in our kitchen junk drawer and is still the like most used tool in the house. Ginger Fisher, CJRB Riff. The Riff. Which one? Oh yeah, that's a button lock. Yeah, cleaver, right, with the red and the black. That's a cool one. This old sword says today's carry Civivi Sentinel Strike. Sentinel Strike. Oh, that's a cool one. That's the new one. It's like 3 3/4 inch Warncliffe with the opening hole, right? Civivi Sentinel Strike in Damascus. Civivi Vision FG Super Lock, as we just mentioned. Oh, he's going triple Civivi. Civivi Synergy 4 Tonto. That one, that's the new Civivi that I want. Yes, because that's like 4 inches, right, Dave? That's a big. That's more like the original O Young made by GTM or GTX or whatever it was. Bastinelli Foreigner Fixie and the Woburn X2 2500 lumens. That's bright. That is bright. That's pretty awesome carry, Dave. Ordinarily, I look down my nose at same brand multi-knife carry, but all of these Civivis and all the Emersons that the other gentleman was talking about, I think maybe I've begun to amend that sort of prejudice. Jonathan Ocampo, good to have you here. Do you have anything to show in Ultim? I have zero in Ultim. But what I will have is a Model 1 from American Blade Works with the Warncliffe blade, and I think I'm going to get that in Ultim when those drop. So the short answer is no, and the long answer is also no. Chris Corliss says, chiming in on the topic of clip point folders, Boker Plus Gadritis Pocket Bowie looks sweet to me. Yes. I just recently saw that. But going back to Ultim, I do look forward to getting that. I love the color. It looks like it's brittle. And that's a ridiculous thing to say because I have no idea. Can't even remember if I picked anything up in Ultim ever, like at Blade Show or anything. So I have nothing to go on except the color. And I don't know why I think it looks brittle. Anyway, Ryan Vest, good to have you here, Ryan. Civivi Elementum 2. Okay. What does that mean? The 2, that's the new button lock, right? Joker of Vispa Fixie. Love that. And the Vosteed Mini Nightshade. Oh my God. That mini. Well, I love the Nightshade. It's a cool knife. Stasa Nick loves Stasa 23 loves that mini Nightshade and the Nightshade in general. He's been collecting that. He loves that knife. So if you ever need justification for your purchase of a Vosteed Nightshade, go hit up Stasa 23. Ryan Vest says, just landed a good deal on a pair of 3 in S45 camo. Ooh, that sounds nice. Probably going to change the scales. I ordered. I've never had the camo scales. I didn't order. I got some on that Real Steel sitting over there that Dave gave over here for a giveaway, and I pick that up every once in a while. I'm like, yeah, the camo G10 seems to have gone out of favor a little, or fallen out of favor just a touch. I remember it was very popular for a hot minute a while ago. I like it, I gotta say, and I like the Spyderco camo a lot because it goes from light to dark. It gets darker. Pardon me. Willard James says, hey man, how you doing? Willard, it's great to have you here, man. I'm doing great. How are you? I'm presuming since it's Thursday night and you're here to listen to and talk about knives, you're doing pretty well. Blade Ogre says, ZT had a weekend sale recently and was able to get, I was able to get the ZT the 0308 for $250. Definitely could not pass it up at that price. Chris, they have some really cool aftermarket scales for that too. Not that the scales that come with it aren't awesome. They're fully milled and contoured and they're very nice, but I've also seen them in different cool aftermarket things. Joseph S says Manix 2 Essie Azula GEC 56 Orange Scramble, and the i3T EOS. Very nice. So that is the Olight. Oh wait, I gotta get to this before we do this giveaway, which is #knife. #knife. People, check this out. I don't know if anyone is #knifed, but in about 4.5 minutes, I'm going to give this away. And this is in honor of 25,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is very cool. I'm very excited about that. That number is means something to me. Acid Test Kids, good to have you here. Acid Test Kids. I didn't see what you said, but maybe I will in a second. Random knife giveaway. Oh, thank you, Jim. Let's see. Oh, Jeebus, that Talwar is big. That's a sword to my hands. Yeah. That's part of the appeal of those big cold steel knives. Dion Page says, I always carry 2 fixed blades. One of them is cold steel with a triad lock. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. It is pretty much like a fixed blade. I mean, for all intents and purposes. No, it's not. Okay, you're right. Cam says the Jutland and the Civivi Cogent, yes, are probably my favorite clip points right now. If you like the Cogent, let's see, CJRB Riff looks really nice, and I'm still holding out for that Bowie PM2. Oh, LOL. That must be a joke I haven't heard, but I assume they've been talking about it for years. Check this out, Cam. If you like the Cogent, you'll love the Sencut Watuaga. Oh, no, wait. This is the Waxahachie. A really nice looking clip point blade that to me is very reminiscent of the Cogent. Also made by, the Wii. This is a Sencut, so this is even budgeter than the Civivi, so to speak. But I love the low clip, the low point. So you've got a utility point there that's easy to bring into use. And you have that beautiful swedge and just a very nice shape. And then the handle is just so nice. I love this handle. I keep thinking I'm going to dye the handle, but this was a gift. Yeah, that doesn't mean I can't dye the handle, but I just haven't yet. But Cam, check it out. This is great. And then it fits on the belt really nicely. I have these 2 straps. I would get something next time. Not next time, but I might get something a little lower profile. I'm not huge on these straps like I used to be, but a very cool knife nonetheless, and a great Kydex sheath. Ket McNessar, good to have you here, sir. Today I am carrying a Dreadnought Forge Nessmuk. Dreadnought Forge Nessmuk, very nice. Bark River Mini Kephart, Giant Mouse Ace Grand, and the Jack Wolf Knives Laid Back Jack V1. The V1. And we're going to show off the V2, and I'll show it off with the V1 in just a second. But first, I want to show you this. This is the knife. This is the Gentleman Junkie knife giveaway for next week. Sorry, just had a little brain fart there. So this is the improved version, the V2 of the Off-Grid Knives Grizzly, their kitchen camp knife. Really with a stress on kitchen. This is for KP duties out in the brush. You could use this to clear brush. It's sort of machete thin, but you wouldn't want to do too much hard work with this. Unlike its predecessor, the V1, this Grizzly V2 has become a fully flat ground blade. So this is about a 2.5 inch wide blade here. And then it's fully flat ground from the it's got like cleaver, like no, more like very nice chef's knife geometry. What I'm trying to say, it's very thin, very slicey. It's a great kitchen knife. As a matter of fact, we use the V1 when we travel. We always have the kitchen at the place we go, but the knives there, the kit, the kitchen gear is terrible. So we always bring the Grizzly, and always think we should use this at home and never do. But it's an awesome, awesome knife. And if you're looking for a knife like this, you can become a gentleman junkie, and you might win this. This is in 14C28, and the handle is much thinner this way and contoured and smooth. The other one was ribbed and blockier, and the whole package was heavier. Yes, because it wasn't fully flat ground. You have more steel on it. And I think they did more weight relief in the handle on this one. But just a really, really awesome knife. So that is the August Gentleman Junkie knife giveaway knife. And then the sheath, by the way, is greatly improved in that it is a pancake sheath and has really great retention and a push thumb push off right there. So that is next week. Okay, so it is 11, and like I said before, and I am a man of my word, we are going to give away this Mike Vellecamp designed 511 Expert folder. Look at that. Beautiful recurve tactical folder. You could use this for, actually, this would probably be pretty good as a camp knife. Now, I hear people, oh, you're not a camper, you're always talking about, but it's very comfortable. You know, yeah, I was going to say the only thing is that it's a folder, but there are lots of folders that you feel comfortable doing this kind of stuff. And sorry, what that was feather sticking. That was carving. And this would be a very comfortable knife to do all sorts of chores with, besides vanquishing your foes. All right, so let's give this away. Hashtag knife in the comments. Jim will bring up the random comment generator, and we'll figure out who gets this. So check this out. If you look at the tip here, you see it's swedged, which will help with penetration. It's got a very acute point, and then when you look at it from that top, you see that it almost retains the full thickness to that tip. So that swedge is a very welcome addition for thrusting. Anyway, just caught my eye. Gonna put that there. All right, let's bring it up, Jim. All right, how many people do we have? Let's see. Oh, wait, I bet you probably left me a... Yeah, how many people do we have? Do you know? Let's see. All right, well, it matters not. We will 46. Right on. Let's see. 46 watching, but we don't know how many are in the kitty. All right, let's do this, Jim. In 3, 2, and 1. All right, who will it be? Who will it be? Oh, it looks like a lot of people put their name in. That's good. I'm glad. What just happened? Not sure what just happened. Was that Aberdeen? Oh, Mark Salva. All right, Mark. This is now your 511 Expert knife. Mark Salva. Good, man. Congratulations to you. I've seen you here plenty, and I'm happy to be sending this your way. Even if this was your very first time here, I'd be happy to be sending this your way. But I'm very happy to report that is now yours, and I'm going to put this aside with a little note that says Mark Salva. All right. And there it is. I'm old school like that. Happy Haptics EDC. Good to see you here. I never knew 511 Tactical sold knives under their brand. Yeah, they do. And they sell some pretty nice ones. They had that Tyranny Karambit. That was sweet. It did have one major issue, I thought. It wasn't exactly set up exactly how I would do it. But anyway, Dion Page, I want that blade. Yeah, Dion, you like the recurve, huh? Yeah, it's a nice blade. Daniel Huff, good to have you here, Daniel. Carrying the Swiss Army Adventurer and a Civivi Mini Praxis. I got my wife that Mini Praxis. That thing is sweet in the green G10, dark green G10, and the black blade. I'm not sure if that's hit her rotation yet. I know she's been digging the Civivi that little slender civivi with the beautiful little sinuous blade and the opening hole in the handle in the knife. I can't remember what it's called. Kevin Moore, a good evening, Knife Junkies. Well, good evening to you, Kevin. Always a pleasure. Hope you are all having a sharp and pointy evening. Indeed, indeed we are. Happy Haptic says, oh, and Bobby, I do the same thing with pocket. Okay, I do the same thing with pocket argument. Lean my arrangement, I think is what you mean. Lean my card holder wallet against my Orbit key organizer to keep it upright. Great minds think alike. That's right, sir. Let's pat ourselves on the back. I think we deserve it. James Moore, I'd love to see Leatherman offer a built to order option where you could select the tools you want. That would be cool. Won't ever happen, but I can dream. That would be cool. That'd be like, yeah, I want a pencil sharpener. I want a, oh wait, I had a perfect little tool. I was gonna, well, yeah, that shows you, oh, a cigar cutter. That'd be cool to have a little cigar cutter in there, and the pliers and Phillips and some of the useful stuff, and then some things that are useful to you. You know, maybe it has a USB, a thumb drive in it. You know, like a Swiss Army knife. Totally destroy the port in your computer. Dion Page says, "Is there going to be a B-Day episode, Bob?" Oh, Jim and I were just discussing this, and B-Day episode is going to turn into a back to school episode. We were gonna do it this month, but kind of blindsided by how early the girls are going back to school this year, and realized that there's well, a weekend and kind of a half until they go back to school, and so that's long, Dion, for yes, just not yet. And we're gonna have a bunch of giveaways, as like we did last time, like our birthday gifts to you. Jim's birthday, my birthday are both in August, and it turns out that a lot of people are in August who either watch the show or a number of knife makers I reached out to 2 years ago ended up being Leos and Virgos as well. So whatever that's worth, but I think it's cool. I like lions, so it's all good. Happy Haptics EDC says, my basic knife loadout is usually either a small pocket fixie paired with a traditional or a single folder. How do you feel about this kind of folder? Would you pair it with a traditional locking folder, kind of like the 110? I'm trying to figure out how I integrate that into my life without going for the light sport models, because I'm not very happy with the blade shapes, what they did with the blades. We were talking about the mini Praxis before. Here's my regular Praxis. We were also talking about wood handles, or we will be in a second. So yeah, this thing really does it for me. I love the Praxis. Ryan Vest says, I carry a cold steel tomahawk mushroom hunting. I bet that's a good thing to have. What kind of weirdness have you experienced mushroom hunting? I'm assuming, and okay, I don't know anything about mushroom hunting, but I do know that a lot of people do it in the Northwest. Are you going around the woods and the mountains of the Northwest and doing mushroom hunting? I'd be curious to hear the weird things you've seen up there. Blade-tastic knives. Oh man, I love your videos. Bought all my guys on the fire engine a Civivi Praxis last Christmas. That's a great knife. Okay, you guys have to check out Blade-tastic Knives' videos. Steve Price, awesome cutting videos, and he's got an amazing collection of fixed blade knives. But not only that, this is a guy, man, you would not want to meet him in a melee. Let's put it that way. Gentleman knows how to use a knife and a sword. Daniel Huff says, today is my birthday. Daniel, not congratulations. Happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday to a fellow Leo, Daniel Huff. I hope it's a good one. I hope you're enjoying your day. I hope you spoiled yourself in a good way. And I hope you had the kind of birthday you wanted, man. And if not, well, you'll have one next year. So work towards the birthday you want next year. But yeah, they're always weird days. because it's like you want to do something, but you don't want to plan it, but you don't want it to be something that, and then, and then, and then you think about, oh man, 52. Wow, man. What would my 25-year-old self think? He'd think, man, God, I turned out cool. Man, did I turn out cool. Where's the Ferrari? Where did you park it? That's what I would say. Todd Carr says blueberry hunting on the Atlantic coast. Ooh, yeah. Maine. I went blueberry picking in Maine once, and that was an idyllic experience. Blueberries warmed by the sun, picking them off, eating half of them, and then they were turned into a pie. So that was a very cool experience. Happy Haptics EDC. That buck would fall into the folder category for me and my carry style. So no pairing with the pocket fix. Oh, okay, I got you. It's interesting. We build these little rules. We build these little substructures, as Jordan Peterson would say, and we follow them. Like for a long time, for me, it was like, can't have the same blade shape, can't have the same locking mechanism, can't be from the same brand. Rigid, that's the same me who said can't ever enjoy pineapple and ham on pizza, even though it's delicious. You cannot allow yourself to enjoy that. Well, at a certain age, you're like, well, what are you gonna die never allowing yourself to enjoy it just because it's the wrong kind of pizza and there's everything about it is wrong? Well, sometimes things just, it can't be wrong if it feels so right. You light up my life. You know what I mean? Dion Page says, some of those mushrooms are vicious. Got to be well-armed hunting chicken, hens, and honey buttons. So, well, it's not the mushrooms I'd be concerned about. It's the pot farmers and the Sasquatches that I would be concerned about. Hag 90, good to have you here, Hag. Hi, Bob and Jim. Hi, all the Knife Junkie fans, TKJ. Hey, Bob and Jim, he says. Hag 90, always a pleasure. Happy Haptics. Foraging. It's called foraging. Well, we've been saying hunting, mushroom hunting. I think it's elk hunting, mushroom foraging. Ryan Vest says mushroom hunting is in the southeast. Lots of fungal biodiversity down here. The most common things are suspicious people on the trail, repeated drive-bys, aggressive comments, etc. Nothing serious. You're just out there in the park or just out there in the woods, and people are, they don't want you to come across their ganja acreage. Knives to my, good to have you here, sir. Weird. My birthday was the 6th. Happy birthday to you, man. A happy birthday to you. Yeah, lots of that's interesting. I wonder how many Libras there are here, because I tend to have a lot of Libras in my life. Kevin Moore says, for today, I'm carrying the James brand Carter and other various and sundry items. I know what those various and sundry items include. One of them is an XL quill. This is the regular size, and yours has paracord on it. And your paracord wrapped quill inspired my jute wrapped quill. And yeah, I got to say, wrapping it really, really did the trick. It shores it up in your hand, and you can really thwack with it, and it's not going to rotate. So, Kevin, thank you for the inspiration, sir. Excuse the usual. I think it gets dusty down here. Happy Haptics says, pineapple pizza was sent from the heavens above. Pineapple. Pineapple. Yeah, I agree. Not my absolute favorite, but yeah, it is delicious. Libra here. Cheeto Bandito. All right. See, I knew it. Never Enough Knives 007. Good to see you here, sir. Late arrival, but happy Thursday night knives, junkies. Well, happy Thursday night knives to you, good sir. Aberdeen Blade says, don't jack my model, bro. Nice. Mushroom LOL. Okay, I need to look. Every week I pull out all of these knives and I show a small fraction of them. So I'm going to put a couple of down here. If you want me to pick one up and show it off, I will. Otherwise, it'll just give you something to look at. But I am going to show you in a moment. I'll show you the new, I should say my new Jack Wolf Knives knife, because you've seen the new knife, but I got the rosewood model and it is absolutely gorgeous. Check this out. Oh, wouldn't you know, they're all double-edged, and I didn't even intend that. So these are the kind of things I have out in front of me for inspiration. I guess I'll go with a theme since I have double edge. So I was interested to know, I'm not sure how many of you watched or listened to the Lynn Thompson interview, but this and the single-edged version of it were the first cold steel knives. He did the push daggers first. I always thought he did the Tonto first. So kind of an interesting, cool thing. He was all about the weapon from the very, very beginning. This is my Stroop knives push dagger. You've seen a lot of this. I haven't carried as much as I thought I would. But I also think that as fall comes in and I start pulling out the flannels and some of the heavier clothing, I have a feeling this is going to start making more of an appearance. It's very, very easy to carry in the waistband with just the handle coming over the belt. Demon OK13, good to have you here. Hey, everyone, he says. Did I say that right? Or demonic 13. I'll say demonic 13. Hey, everyone. Well, hello to you, sir. Do you like double-edged knives? I mean, who doesn't? Everyone loves them, right? It's just that not everyone can have them or carry them. Kevin Moore says, Bob, my oldest daughter and her husband live on his family's blueberry farm. Some of the best blueberries you will eat in your life. Oh my God, I love blueberries. I love blueberry jam. That's my favorite way to make a peanut butter and jelly, which I got to say, for a nearly 52-year-old man, I eat embarrassingly frequently, like almost on a daily basis. I just love it. But used to be red raspberry, used to be black raspberry, and then years it was strawberry, and now I'm all about the blueberry. Love it. My girls love it, so it's all good. And then there was a real shortage, COVID, but there was a real shortage of blueberry jam for a while, and it was bumming me out. I'm like, is this going away? Is this one of those things that is just gonna go away? And I'm gonna be like, man, remember when there was that thing and we thought it would never go away called blueberry jam? Hawaiian. It's called pineapple pizza, or I called it pineapple pizza. Well, I don't know. I think Hawaiian works because the shirts and all. You're like, Bob, drop the shirts already. But that's how you will be emblazoned in my mind, sir. You like that? I'm having an argument with you. You're not even a part of it. Cheeto Bandito says, anyone know where I can get an aftermarket clip for a Cold Steel 4MAX Scout? Okay. No, but check on Etsy. It's Pops or something like that. There is a maker of cold steel aftermarket clips on Etsy, and the name is escaping me, but it's something like Pops or Dads or something like that. But check it out. I think you might be able to find something. I remember seeing a deep carry pocket. I'm looking over there because a knife on the wall is actually askew, and I don't know how or why that would happen. But I've seen deep carry pocket clips for the Recon 1 there and for the Voyager. This was a couple of years back, but I'm sure that there's got to be someplace. Javon, good to have you here. Javon's Knife Flicks. Been creeping. Love your shed knives testing video, Bob. Well, thank you, sir. he is he being Jack of Shed Knives sent me that knife. He also sent me another knife and was very interested, especially in the when he sent me the first one. He wrote a letter and he was like very interested, like, go to town on this, please let me know how it was. And that inspired me to make that first video that way. And so when I got this new one, I think he was kind of looking for that, so I gave him another one. I didn't give him another one. I liked doing that a lot, and it was fun to have my daughter shoot it, and then she stitched it together. And she's dying. She's really dying to go to Blade Show because 2 years ago I said, "Oh, one of these years you can come be my camera person at Blade Show." And you know, I've learned like you can't just say things offhand to kids, especially things that are cool or sound fun, because they never let you forget. And so now it's always like, you know, am I old enough to go? But I'm like, no, no, not quite yet. Anyway, Ket McNeshart says my typical carry these days is a 3-knife combo. Okay, one fixed blade, EDC fixie, or full-size belt knife, depending on the situation. One locking folder, one slip joint. Okay, so that's basically me plus the whatever my ESK is going to be. You know, the thing I just sit and flip at my desk, which I consider it part of the carry. But anyway, I like this. A 3, you got it all covered. It's like having the rifle, the shotgun, and the pistol. You know, it's just like you kind of have all your bases covered. Daniel Huff thoroughly enjoyed the Lynn Thompson interview. Thank you so much, Daniel. There are a lot of people had a lot of very kind words about the interview itself and about Lynn Thompson. And I'm still thrilled by that. That was a great experience for me to meet him, because they say don't meet your heroes, you're bound to be disappointed. And he was the opposite. He was way even cooler than I kind of thought. But when I first met him, I was like, oh, he's cool. And then when I talked to him on the phone, you know, I was like, I knew this guy was cool. So it turned out to be great. It was a really nice experience for me. But I'm glad you liked it also. Byron Kennedy with a $10 super chat. You light up my life, Bob. Buddy, quick. I need a Bowie fix with some Zeppelin in the background. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Well, oh my God. You know, okay, so there's a funny story about you light up my life that my wife told me when she was in middle school at a middle school dance. You know, she went to a Catholic school, and they would slow dance, and the nuns would come by and like leave room for the Holy Spirit, you know, and kind of push them apart. And You Light Up My Life came on during, I mean, that's a song from the 70s. So at this time, this was a retro song to be being played, but it came on, and the lyrics, "It can't be wrong when it feels so right," came on. And and all the nuns were like, "Oh my God." And they they rushed over to the DJ, and it was like, you know, the needle scratch across the record. So there you go. All right. I think I brought out this big old Bowie for just such an occasion. So Byron, today I salute you with the Svord von Temsky Bowie. This is a Bowie that is patterned after the knife that Colonel von Temsky or something, Captain, I don't know. He was like a rough rider of New Zealand in the 19th century. And he carried around a giant Bowie, and then he had his Rangers, I think they were called. Yeah, they were called Rangers. He had that giant Bowie made for them as well. And it was for fighting. It was for, you know, camp chores and everything. But, you know, there was a premium put on its ability to separate a man from his life. This big honking thing. This was a gift from my brother, and a cherished a cherished member of my most intimidating Bowie's family. Got that giant cross guard, big walnut handle. I love the handle on this. Just just a totally neutral handle, but fits great in hand. And then this giant carbon steel blade. So Byron, this is for you, sir. Thank you so much. I salute you. You're a gentleman and a scholar. All right, let me swim. It's a little swim by. This really does look like a shark. You know, I've been seeing little things in the news, people claiming to see megalodons, and they've been extinct for a long time. No one's seeing a megalodon, though I shouldn't say that because I believe in some pretty wacky stuff. So who knows? Really, who knows? The veil, it's getting thin, man. The veil's getting thin. Happy Haptics EDC says blueberry has always been my OG jam choice. Also, he says, well, right on. It is tasty and delicious. Most are, except I can't do the marmalade route. I can't go the citrus jelly route. Let's see. Blade-tastic Knives says my aunt here in Alabama made the best blueberry fried pies. Ooh, that sounds good. Is that where the whole thing is encapsulated, kind of like a like, for a lack of a better example, like a McDonald's pie where it's like the whole thing and then you hold it and eat it? That sounds really good. Ryan Vest, blueberry is the best pie. Indeed it is, especially after a lobster, after devouring a lobster with lots of melted butter. There is nothing like a piece of blueberry pie with vanilla ice cream and some black coffee. And maybe a little slice of chocolate, and then a cigar with some scotch. Never Enough Knives 007 says, I've been playing around with carrying full and reduced size versions of the same folder, like the Cayman XL and EDC, the Praxis and Mini Praxis. How's that working out for you? I mean, like, that is an interesting that is a good loophole around all of my stupid rules, because that is actually interesting carry. You could do the rhino and the baby rhino. Those are on extreme ends. Lord Needham, good to have you here, Lord Needham. Hello, you beautiful knife nerds. I'm headed to bed. Good night, all. Javon. Well, good night to you, sir. It was great having you. And well, thanks for spending some of your Thursday night, some of your weekend here. It's been greatly appreciated. I got to show this knife. I've been blabbing. Dion Page says, I have a PB&J every night with a glass of milk. And tonight it's peanut butter, banana, and honey. That's a perfect combo. I'm eating it right now. What a trip. I blueberry, red raspberry. So I think he loves blueberry, red raspberry, grape, strawberry, orange marmalade. No on the orange marmalade. I will replace that with black raspberry. That used to be my dad's favorite, and oh my God, love it. Kevin Moore, Bob, you only know me so very well. All right, let me show you this. This just came in from Ben Belkin of Jack Wolf Knives, and this thing is spectacular. Professor EDC, good to have you here, sir. He is the South American distributor of said knife, of the Jack Wolf Knives. This is the brand new version 2 of the Laid Back Jack. The Laid Back Jack was the very second release by Jack Wolf Knives, and I'll show you the original in a second to contrast. But this is just a beautiful knife to look at. So this one comes, and you can get it in this rosewood with the blasted bolster and the hand rub finish. You can get it in with a black blade. First time he's done the black blade, black anodized bolster with purple curanite, which is beautiful. 2 different titaniums. One is sort of raw, the other one is jigged, and then a carbon fiber. So 5 different covers, and all just beautiful and different. And you see that this one now is a Barlow. Okay, so let me pull the other one out for contrast. But I mentioned the finish on this blade is hand rubbed. It's usually with these full height hollow ground knives, you see the lines from the grinder going north to south on the blade. Well, here we can see it's been rubbed this way, east to west, and it's taken a little bit of that crisp edge off of the grind right here, which makes it so easy to pinch these open. So this one now, with this particular version of the V2, I can't speak to any of the others, but with this particular version of the V2, you actually really do need that nail nick. Whereas with the V1, you'll notice this is not a Barlow. It doesn't have that real long bolster there. With this one, you can just pinch way much easier because in cross section, that grind is coming together and widening out. And at the widest point here, it's crisp and sharp, and you can just grab it and pull it. Anyway, the 47 GEC 47P came up earlier for pruner, but the 47 is the sway back that this is sort of like in terms of size, except Ben did some changes. Let me use this one. He flattened out the handle a little bit, a little less curved. Did some really great things, obviously, with the materials, and this is S90V. But look at that sharpening choil. Holy mackerel. It's almost a third of the blade compared to that one. This is already a very generous sharpening choil. These things are so damn thin behind the edge that you can really use if you use these knives so much in M390, the one on the bottom, and S90V. You use them so much that you have to sharpen them all the way up through those sharpening notches. You could still have a very thin behind the edge blade if you had to do that. I don't know if it's just an aesthetic choice or he's just giving you the longest lasting blade possible. Ryan says, "Holy smokes, that Jack Wolf knives is amazing. The rosewood, it is just beautiful." And I like wood on knives. I was showing showing off that Praxis before. Here, like this knife here. This is the Gitano from Lion Steel. Oh God, I love. Oh, I have Gabon Ebony here on this GEC 44. This was my birthday knife when I turned 48, I believe. Yep, almost my birthday. I'm gonna have to pick out a birthday knife. It's like, isn't the whole year your birthday knife, Bob? No, it's not. Love that rosewood, says Never Enough Knives. Yeah, it is spectacular. And I hope that, I will oil it from time to time because going in and out of the suede will no doubt, at least at first, take some of the luster, or maybe it'll, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it'll polish it a little bit, but I'm hoping that handling it and getting my hand oils on on that wood will keep it nice and, you know, hydrated. I don't know what the term is, not hydrated, but how wood can get dried out and you want to refresh it with oil. Think of your wooden spoons in the kitchen. But yep, let's look at it. You've got that same sort of perfect mating with the blade. You can't even see the seam between the blade and the lock, and it feels perfect. And then on the half stop, perfectly flat. That is not really a utilitarian feature. That is a feature of fit and finish. That is a feature that shows off fit and finish. It shows attention to detail. It doesn't have any real practical purpose, but it is what's the word I'm looking for? Well, it does exemplify how well finished the knife is and how well engineered it is. Three flutes, 3 grooves in the bolster, and just gorgeous, man. I love this. Let me put it with a couple of other wood knives I love. I think this is rosewood. That's the Boker Smatchet by Chuck Gadritis, whose name came up earlier. Will be, I can't get a birthday knife. My wife knew how much my knives cost. Oh, if my wife knew how much my knives cost, she wouldn't be my wife anymore. That's not true. She'd give you a talking to, and then she'd say, oh, Will. Oh, Will. Just kidding. I don't know. She might throw you out with all of your knives. Yeah, you like your knives so much. Here, take them. No, I don't think she'd do that. Never Enough Knives 007 says maybe some old school Johnson wax. That's a good idea, actually. Yeah, some sort of a wax on there, some sort of a nice or something. It is rosewood, and a lot of fretboards on guitars are rosewood. So maybe I find whatever they put on that on guitars. This is some sort of wood. I don't remember what it is, but love the wooden handles on these knives. Todd Card, Cheeto Bandito. I know Nathan's Knives has made a few. I guess we're talking about the pocket clips for the Scout, for the Cold Steel Formac Scout. And seen some on Etsy, but can't speak to the quality of the Etsy ones. Okay, yeah, I think Cheeto. I think your best bet is go to Etsy or Google, aftermarket. But sometimes you put in cold steel and clip, and then you get everything that has to do with cold steel knives, because they all have clips, or all the folders have clips. So in every description of the knife, whether it's a sales description or someone who makes aftermarket clips, that's why I hate searching for aftermarket clips. It's a pain. Well, anyway, it's first world problem, Dion says that pivot is so shiny, it looks hollow, like clear glass. Oh, yeah, it does. It does. It does, doesn't it? It does. That is cool. Yep, beautiful. I love the way that blade looks. Oh, the one that I really wanted to show this with is where is it here? Oh, here it is. It kind of does the same thing for me. These two knives kind of do the same thing for me. Something about the titanium. This is titanium. I think it's the first Finch knife they did in titanium, but something about the titanium next to the wood. And I know that Kevin Moore is just. I'm sorry, not Kevin Moore. I know that. Oh man, James is quietly shaking his head. No, but I just love the look of the wood next to the titanium. I love the natural materials, and so yeah, those two are a nice combo. Dion says, "Is the Boker still available?" The Boker. The Smatchet? Yeah, I think so. It comes in the wood, and then it also comes in green canvas micarta. This thing is awesome. That's a 4-inch blade, dagger ground, sort of bayonet ground, but for all intents and purposes, a dagger ground blade here. 4 inches, VG10, Chuck Gadritis designed, amazing action, really, really nice ergos, and a cool clip that harkens back to a different era. To me, it looks a little Art Deco to me, and then the Smatchet itself comes from a different era. Large, double-edged fighting knife, used in World War II. I think the Marine Raiders used them. Boiled linseed oil, says Jeremy Nedro. That's right. Of course. I knew that. And I have some over there. Yeah, of course. I'm getting one in green, says Dion. Yeah. Oh, I bet that'll look nice once it patinas too. But this wood, this was a gift from Dave. Very generous guy. And it wasn't in a box of things, and I didn't adopt it. He specifically gave this one to me. So I appreciate it. Have a Knife Day says, that's a 4-inch blade. That's what she said, circa The Office. Oh, yeah. That's what she said. It does not get old. It does not get old. Macho Blades. Hey, it's good to have you here, Macho. How you doing, sir? Been loving that dagger you've been working on. you guys, Macho, he was on the show not too long ago. And he's been working on this knife that was sort of, did AI design the knife partially or something? Yeah, the dagger's just beautiful. Been having fun with those lately. Yeah, no kidding. So some big challenges making a dagger, no doubt. That's uh, four bevels you have to get exactly the same. If not, then now you're making a fighter. Now you're in fighter territory. Don't get me wrong, I love fighters, but you don't want to make an accidental fighter. Anyway, I'd love to find out more about that. That is a beautiful knife, and you've been posting some interesting kind of AI based stuff. Cool stuff you've been doing. Greg Maroney, good to see you here, Greg. What's up, y'all? He says. Well, what's up with you, sir? I had a priest, Father Maroney. He was an awesome dude when I was a kid. Still friends with the family. Macho Blade says, no, I just found some AI apps and started experimenting. Okay. So I remember you were, that's what it is. You showed off some of the things that the AI made. Pretty cool. Speaking of you, Macho, I was just going through my cards from Blade Show, and I'm reaching out to Alan Foltz shortly. He's one of the people I asked to come on, and Macho is good friends with Alan Foltz and has received lots of valuable tips and such, and studio time with him. So it's always cool to hear inspirations and mentorships and who's friends with who, and that's always cool because it's a small knife world, and it's cool to hear who knows who. Okay, I want to talk for a second. I'm sorry, I want to talk for a second about Tops Knives because they have a new flipper. Okay, so this is the new version of their Scandi flipper. And as I talk about Tops, I better pull out a couple of Tops knives. It only makes sense. So do you remember the MSF folder, their Scandinavian ground folder? Well, they just revamped it, and they're using super steel now. It is no longer N690. Now it's an LMAX, and it does definitely have a little bit of a sleeker and more refined look to it. You've got a sculpted titanium pocket clip. It's a 3¼ inch blade, which is good. Keeps it out of my wheelhouse, which is where it needs to belong. I don't need to have this. Plus, this one is a clip point, and I got to say, a pretty good looking one at that. I'm a clip point sucker, or, ooh, that didn't sound right. I'm a sucker for a clip point. And so, I say bring it, and bring more of the clip points to the Tops lineup, because I love every one that they do. And this one is somewhat reminiscent of the Prather War Buoy clip point. And you're going to say, what? And I'm going to say, look at that long clip. It really does have that sort of vibe, a sort of short, straight spine that goes into that long clip to the tip. So that in combination with the Scandinavian grind actually makes that not a bad self-defense knife. And then you say, not everything is a self-defense knife. But the only reason I'm saying that is because I've heard from, we heard from Ed Calderon, and we heard from Fieldworks, Ryan Atkinson, that Mora knives are outstanding when it comes to testing them in pig carcasses that are swinging around. And, they do all those live, what do they call it? Organic medium testing, stabbing pigs that are swinging, pig carcasses that are swinging, to really get the feel of sticking a knife in something that's also moving in a dynamic atmosphere, and what knives do well. It's interesting to hear about how the $400 folders inevitably fold or don't do as well as, for instance, the Pioneer Woman paring knife is the one that performed the best out of like a whole range of knife guys who show up to these seminars and test out their knives. The best thing that has consistently kind of won out is a $12 paring knife that you can get at Walmart by Pioneer Women. So that's kind of interesting. But anyway, that tops could actually flex its little 3.25-inch blade into that sort of tactical roll if need be, because that grind is a wicked, wicked sharp grind. It's known for how sharp it is for carving. And then you add that to that nice slender clip point blade without the swedge, and you're going to have a perfect little triangle down there at the tip for making someone's life, for making someone regret what they're doing, which is probably not a good thing for them. Okay, lastly, well, I guess the cat's already out of the bag. I was going to talk about this Venatus 4E clip point blade, another beautiful clip point blade on the Giant Mouse Jutland. So not much to say about it. If anyone here has experience with Venatus 4E, do let me know. But this is a great opportunity to look at that design. That profile is really gorgeous. Again, you got a long clip there, and then I like the lozenge shaped or tic tac shaped hole there. Actually, that is about the dimension of a tic tac or proportion. Anyway, it also looks like that folder is going to be, it looks like it's perfectly positioned to just rocket that blade out. I say it looks like it because I did not have a chance to pick this one up at Blade Show. Man, it's so funny. I talk about Blade Show all year until the next one, and then I talk about that one. It's such a great experience. I have to say that if anyone is on the fence about spending the money or the time to go, it is worth it. Definitely once to go to Blade Show in Atlanta. But also it might be worth it if you're anywhere in or near Texas to go to the Texas Custom Knife Show in November 4th and 5th. I will be there. I'm very excited. I'm going to, I've been asked to be at that event to help MC it and to help with judging and to mix with these cool knife makers and Doug Marcaida will be there and Jay Nielsen will be there and some other Forged in Fire folk, and it's just going to be a cool time. There will be knife forging, tomahawk throwing contests, best in shows, and all that stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. Should be fun. Kevin Moore says, I love that Boker. Smash it. Just a great life. Oh, yeah, I agree. Can you go back to Macho's comment, Jim? Two back. I missed what he said. Hey, Blame Dexter. Great to have you here, man. Right here at the end of the stream. Yeah, well, you can always watch it on the replay. Macho says, really impressed with tops lately. Yeah, look at these two. Since we're talking tops, these two are two of my absolute favorites. This is one of the more recent ones right here, the Szabo Express, designed by Lacey Szabo, former Marine, former law enforcement officer and contractor. Todd Carr says, nice, love Scandi ground knives from bushcraft and carving. Yeah, and you don't see them often in folders. This thing is awesome. It's so light. If you need a tactical knife in your life, I really recommend this. This is a great knife. It is sharp. It has great ergonomics. It's light in hand. It's balanced the way you would want a fighter to be balanced. And never having used it in a fight, I can only assume it would be great at it. But you can also get it, if you're concerned, in single edge. They probably sell more of them like that. But anything for me that has a double edge option, I'm going for the double edge. And then this is the Wild Pig Hunter. This was a gift from my wife a number of years back, I think, for my birthday, but now I'm not remembering. This was one of those send me the link, I'm exhausted gifts. I probably got her right after childbirth or something like that. That's how I got my Spyderco Sage 3. Never Enough Knives 007 says, I took Ed's class. Oh, and the hard stab into the pig skull will tell you how a given knife will perform. My custom from BGM Knives survived. I am not surprised. How cool that you did that, Never Enough Knives 007. That is so cool. Do you have pictures from that? I'd be interested to see, um, you know, privately, of course, but I want to do that. I'd also love to do Ryan's thing too. Byron says, like swords, prepare to watch and vote in October for the 6th series of the YTC Knife Makers Challenge. The Samurai 16 channels compete to design, build, and display their best samurai for prizes. How cool! How cool! All right, keep us in the loop about that, and I'll keep talking about it. Blame Dexter says, I'm watching Game of Thrones for the first time, really making it hard not to get a sword right now. Give in, Blame Dexter. Come on. As you'll learn in Game of Thrones, life is short, and spoiler alert, ends unexpectedly. Sorry, just kidding. No, but Game of Thrones is known for that, and it's not a spoiler alert 10 years after the fact. So I'm going to start talking about everything. No, but check out Cold Steel. You know that they're battle worthy, and they have some really cool designs. Some of them you might see, some of these double-handed broadswords look like they came right from the set. Knives to My says, I love that Tops Zabo, but can't find the double-edged. Well, you could always just order it from Tops and just have them do it, because any knife that you can have double-edged, they'll do it for you. Someone just commented and said that they had their El Pionero, the new Ed Calderon knife, had it double-edged by them, or had the swedge sharpened for $5. So the swedge is like an inch long. They just went zzz, zzz, $5. Never Enough Knives says he showed me some videos of knives being used, and they were some of the most disturbing things I've ever seen. Oh, you mean like people getting attacked and murdered with knives? Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah, it's gonna get gross. Jeremy Nedro said, I have a nice katana I won a while back from a giveaway. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's nice. I won. What were those little tiny iPod things called? I won an iPod Nano once. That was cool. Okay, I'm sorry, Jim. What was that? I'd much rather have won a sword, but iPod Nano, doing a pinch. I think you had a clip up there. Byron Kennedy said, for a list of the channels building the samurais in the challenge, see the Rivers Experience or Tyrell Knife Works. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought this was this might be associated with them. I got a chance to pick up the Tyrell Knife Works knives. I got a chance to meet Dennis in person at Blade Show and got to experience his knives. Man, they are so cool. He's such a nice guy too. He's such a cool character, and his work is gorgeous, just beautiful. And I got a chance to pick up that shark sword. I don't know if anyone remembers him building that, but he built a Gununting style hawkbill sword with a pretty cool hilt that's shark themed, so pretty neat. Miss a Pass Thursday Night Knives. Oh, I'm like Ron Burgundy. I'm just gonna read whatever comes on the screen. So put whatever you want on the screen. Okay, so that I got that is done and out of the way. All right, so for the last couple of minutes here, let me just show off some of the things I have on the table. Some of the things I have here on the table. Let me show you this. My K-bar. Yeah, we know K-bar, but this is my K-bar. This is from about 1989 or 90. They did a reissue. K-bar did, and they did it with the original design, so that edge is fully sharpened. That swedge, I mean, is very sharp, and I've touched it up and made it especially sharp. But this is definitely on the combat and fighting side of the combat fighting utility knife recipe that we hear in the name. Yeah, would make a great fighting knife. Dion Page says, I just watched Ron Burgundy last night for the first time. Laughing my ass off. That's funny. Yeah, just put whatever it is, and I will read it off of the prompter. Yeah, what a good movie that is. All right, I'm going to show you this one too. This one took me forever to get. I don't know why. Years and years and years of wanting that knife. I guess it was pretty expensive for me at first for a long period of those years and years. But Chase Kimball, good to see you here, Chase. I got the El Pionero with the sharpened swedge. I think you might be the guy who mentioned. I've been carrying it since I got it last Friday, and it's pretty awesome. Pairs well with the American service knife Jefferson. That's a cool pairing. Yeah, that is a nice knife, that El Pionero. And I know some people are like, it's just a pairing knife. Well, maybe, but not really. Byron Kennedy says, gotta go. Thanks, Bob Jim Junkies. Have a great weekend. Bye all. Byron Kennedy, thank you so much, Byron, for everything you do here and on Patreon. It's greatly appreciated, sir. And yeah, always a pleasure having you. One last knife I'll show off here that I have out from the collection is this. I haven't carried this one in ages. This is the Draug from Rib Splitter Knives. Rib Splitter. I love the name. And he does a drop every Sunday. You should follow Rib Splitter Knives on Instagram. He started, at least when I started following him, it was pretty exclusively this and another Pikal model that I like even more than this, but I never got one. And he's expanded. He's done Tontos and crisp blades and straight blades and stuff. But it seems like his real hit, I don't know his name, so I'm just going to keep calling him. Mr. Rib Splitter's real métier is this kind of knife, this sort of Pikal style knife. And beautifully finished, interestingly finished. I'm not sure how he made these. He was going to come on the show at one point, and then the trail went cold. But yeah, they're interesting. Beautifully shaped, feels great in the hand. And man, this would be a wicked hole maker. Very obtuse grind. This is more, it's almost sharpened more like a claw than a blade. So, yeah, that's what I had out on the table tonight, plus a million other things over here. But maybe I'll close with this one. This one I have been I've been loving this knife. This and its raw titanium brother. This is the Okaso Knives Solstice, designed by Andrew Demko and made in Taiwan. And it is awesome. The blade is incredibly sharp. It's like a little it's like a big scalpel. The flipping action is perfect. It's a classy carry. It's nice and thin. Would make a great in a pinch sort of tactical type knife. I love everything about it. I love the way it looks. I love the way it carries. This is great for the back pocket also. This will ride next to my bandana frequently. I'm really, really loving this knife. So definitely check out Okaso Knives. I think they've got a bright future ahead of them. Chase Kimball says El Pionero is basically a paring knife, but one that can really ruin someone's day. Not only that, but it can go the distance. You know, it's a full tang. What is it? I think it's 1095. If not, it's 154. And you know, it's tops. It's a stout as hell. Enjoy the weekend, junkies. Well, never enough knives. 007. You enjoy the weekend too. Dion, take care of sir. Slide right between the ribs of a foe. Slide right between the ribs of a foe. That's right. The rib splitter. That's why they call it that. Jeremy Nedro, I love the Solstice. I won one a while back from Bees Blades. Oh, cool. I never win knives. I need to start getting into contests. All right, everybody. Well, thank you one and all for joining us. As always, it's a blast. I love Thursday nights. Join us on Sunday for Keith Beam. He's Stickman, the new Cold Steel, the new face of Cold Steel. Since GSM Outdoors bought them, he's a very interesting guy, very nice guy, cool dude. Came up a self-made man, came up through the archery world, made a mint selling his company doing that, and started working for GSM and Cold Steel. Interesting dude. Check out that podcast. It's been a lot of Cold Steel recently, and I'm so glad I had a chance to tap into that. All right, everybody, be sure to scan the QR code if you want to join us on Patreon. Other than that, for Jim working his magic behind the switcher, I'm Bob DeMarco saying, until next time, don't take dull for an answer.